Hi, hello there. I'm pretty excited because I have the pleasure of telling you some good news today. You realize how rare that is when you have a channel dedicated to climate change and the environment? It's really rare. Things are not great. Last year, the Department of the Interior held the largest sale of oil and gas leases in US history. More than 80 million acres were up for drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. I have no good frame of reference for what 80 million acres looks like, but Wikipedia tells me that New Mexico is a little shy of 78 million acres. So basically, the government put up an entire New Mexico worth of ocean in the Gulf of Mexico for purchase so that oil companies can build these massive platforms and drill beneath the ocean floor to find fossil fuels. But, and here's the good news, just this January, a judge threw out all of those leases. He said the entire sale was based on a faulty environmental analysis that grossly underestimated the greenhouse gases that these oil and gas leases would result in. Because obviously, I know, and you know, that drilling for oil isn't just for kicks and giggles. We pull it out of the earth to burn it. And burning it releases carbon dioxide, which raises global temperatures, which causes all sorts of weird and bad problems for everyone. So stopping these leases is amazing, and I got to talk to one of the people who made that happen. This is Brittany Hardy. She's one of the lawyers over at Earth Justice who brought the case against these leases.
This is the first time that a court has actually revoked a lease sale. Usually, even if we are able to be successful in litigation on a lease sale case, a lot of times because it takes so long to get to the decision stage, so much time has passed, courts are hesitant to revoke leases after companies have invested a lot of money. This time, though, we pushed really hard to get the decision fast so there wouldn't be as much investment by these companies, and the court had an easier time than deciding that it could revoke the lease sale entirely.
Which is huge because every new lease granted locks in oil and gas development for the next 40 or 50 years. In 50 years, it'll be 2070, long past when we need to have stopped using fossil fuels for basically everything.
We're focused on leasing in order to start that transition process, because before you can really fix the problem, you have to stop the bleeding, I guess, or stop the expansion of that activity. And so we've been fighting really hard to convince the Interior Department to end leasing because we don't need it. Since they haven't done that yet, we've been fighting them every step of the way to make that happen.
And frankly, it's not like we're running out of fossil fuels. We don't need, in fact, we can't keep digging up anymore. Just using the existing oil and gas infrastructure and stockpiles are more than enough to blow past any chance of keeping global temperature rise below 1.5 or even 2 degrees Celsius.
The leases that would have been sold in November wouldn't actually go into production for 5, more likely 10 years. So not having those leases in place doesn't affect our supply of fossil fuels in the short term at all. The industry also has a whole bunch of leases that it's stockpiled to continue production.
So now that the court threw out these leases, if the Interior Department wanted to try to release that same area, they'd have to start from scratch and redo the environmental analysis and recalculate the expected greenhouse gases from new oil and gas development in the Gulf.
And once they do that, we're confident that the new emissions numbers would show really big climate costs. And given the Biden administration's desire to address the climate crisis, we think that once they redo that analysis, the decision that they should come to would be not to hold the lease sale at all.
This isn't just a win for the global climate, it's also a huge win for communities living on the Gulf of Mexico. This is a part of the world already experiencing devastating climate-charged storms, impacts from sea level rise, and literally hundreds of oil spills, many of which the region is still recovering from, including BP's Deepwater Horizon blowout, the largest oil spill in the ocean ever. Ending these oil and gas leases both on and offshore is necessary, and it's one of the biggest levers the federal government can pull to reduce US emissions and protect everyone. And Earth Justice is going to keep fighting until oil and gas leasing is a thing of the past. And you can help. For starters, you can tell the federal government or the Department of the Interior or your representatives, we don't want or need leasing. You can head over to earthjustice.org where they've got an open letter you can sign and way more information that I wasn't able to fit into this video. It's no secret that I'm a big fan of Earth Justice. This is my, I think, 6th video dedicated exclusively to the incredible work they do for the environment, for social justice, for our health. They're using the power of law to make the government work for people in a system that seems hell-bent on doing the exact opposite. And that work, centering justice for people and the planet, is needed now more than ever. If you want to support that work, you can donate or sign up for an action alert on their website. Or, since this is a Project for Awesome video, if you're watching between February 25th and 27th, you can follow the link in the description to vote for Earth Justice so that a portion of the funds raised can go to stopping oil and gas leasing and the other zillions of incredible things Earth Justice is doing. Thanks so much for watching.